Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the crypto trading channel, your favorite out of them all, where today I'm going to talk to you about Bitcoin. We're going to do a little technical analysis for the start of the video. Then we're going to move on to some news about Microstrategy, one of the largest crypto-based companies in the world, and how they are actually getting sued, or the former CEO is getting sued by somebody in the US government. And lastly, a little technicals on MSTR as well, so we can see what we can expect from the stock movement in the upcoming period as a result of this news. Now, if you do enjoy the video, as always, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below with your favorite thoughts and opinions. Now let's get right into it with Bitcoin. First and foremost, we are getting some mixed signals at this point. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have two things. We have one of the main things, which is this zone around the 20k level, which signifies the previous all-time high and also signifies a large rebound zone since recently, acting as a nice zone of support, right? But at the same time, we do have this downtrend, or sort of a correction pattern line right here that was also broken out of. Now, technically speaking, when you have mixed signals, when you have one signal that's pointing towards the upside, when you have another signal that's pointing towards the downside, it is best to wait it out and wait for additional confirmations, which is what I am going to do. But as I've said before, if we do start moving bearish, the 10k or 10 to 12k, something like that, would represent a good level to place your targets at if you're going to be shorting the market. But currently, since we are having these mixed signals, we are broken out of this correction pattern, which is quite a beautiful one, by the way, and it looks very, very bearish. But at the same time, we are finding another support around the 20k mark, and you can see this even more clearly if you head on over to the 1 hour time frame, where we are literally forming a double bottom right here. Now, we have a slight divergence in the relative strength index, which we can see right here, but it is nothing too large, so I wouldn't take it with too much significance. We do have a double bottom though. This is one, this is another, so perhaps in the short term we could make another movement towards the upside if we do break out of this level of resistance up on top, and then potentially make a retracement into this level right here before continuing to move down on the larger time frames or on the larger scale. But this 20k zone right here is the level to look at. So what I would suggest you do is just wait it out, right? See what the market's going to do. I'm going to remove everything right now just to show you something very clearly. If you plot a resistance right here, and if you plot a support right here, it gives you quite a good glimpse on the market itself. If we do make a break above it, we can have a nice short-term target, quite a range right here to fill out into the next zone of significant resistance. And potentially from there, you could create head and shoulders pattern, and potentially it could be the end of the bear market, but that is highly unlikely at this point due to federal monetary policies and all of this stuff going on. But on the other hand, if we do break out towards the downside, we could continue moving down. So these two zones on the lower time frames, right, the 19.5k and the 20.5k zones are very important. It's basically saying, okay, if Bitcoin is above the 20k level in the next few days, it means we're going to be moving bullish in the short term. But if it's below the 20k level in the short term, then we probably might be moving bearish. So that's for the lower time frames. As per the higher time frames, it is quite bearish. We broke out of a huge correction pattern and potentially could continue moving more down. Now, if we do move onto the weekly time frame as well, so right now I didn't really do a top-down analysis, I just analyzed everything slowly. On the weekly time frame, we do look quite bearish as well, even though we do have this zone that is right here that we still didn't break out of on the weekly time frame. We are looking moderately bearish, right? But a few things that you need to take into consideration are the sizes of these wicks down here. So this one and this one here most specifically, that represents buyers becoming very, very strong around this area. So you need to be careful, and personally, I would maybe even wait for next week's candle to close strong bearish below this zone right here before entering any significant shorts, even though you may potentially miss out on a little bit of profit if the market starts going down. Well, you at least are a little bit safer. It's better always to take a little bit less profit than to make a losing trade. So that's it for Bitcoin. And when it comes to this Microstrategy thing, the District of Columbia is suing the founder Michael Saylor for tax fraud. So this guy has been living in For 10 years, he's been living in this district of Colombia. He hasn't paid any taxes, apparently, and they're suing him for conspiracy to help evading all of these taxes that he legally owes, hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. And one funny thing that I found is that I didn't know about before is that all of these AGs, these attorney generals, they're actually tweeting everything they're doing. So this guy says, today we're suing Michael Saylor, a billionaire tech executive who's lived in the district for more than a decade but has never paid any DC income taxes for tax fraud. And what happened as a result of that? The MSRT stock started shunting a little bit, started moving towards the downside, which is completely normal. It makes perfect sense. Bad news, market will go down. But does this provide an opportunity to potentially buy the dip? Well, it very much could. Seeing as Bitcoin is at sort of a crossroads right here on the lower time frames, we could expect a movement towards the upside, as I said, on the lower time frames and in the short run. So potentially in the short run, MSRT could be a good play looking towards some upside. So on the daily time frame, it's a chart that resembles Bitcoin quite a lot, right? So we had a bull run, peak of the bull run, and then the market's basically going down. And then as Bitcoin double bottoms out, MSRT finds a large support here as well. Breaks the previous lower high. As you can see right here, you have a series of high, you have a lower low, you have a lower high, you have a lower low, you have a lower high, lower low, and then the previous lower high was broken out of, right? You can see this one right here. So that's very important to keep in consideration. And potentially, if we do move on to the hourly time frame, we might be able to see some sort of a pattern emerge here, but currently I'm not seeing anything. So let's not be hasty with our decisions. Let's wait for news that's coming out tomorrow from the United States of America. There is NFP coming out tomorrow. It is one of the most volatile news events of the month, and it is the last trading day of the month, so be very careful. I would suggest to wait until the next month starts, see how everything moves on Monday and Tuesday, and then start to base your decisions on it. But when it comes to this, Microstrategy's shares fell down more than 4% following Racine's tweets. The Attorney General's office alleged him for avoiding of paying of more than $25 million in taxes. And one thing you need to know about MicroStrategy itself, it is a highly crypto-based company with a lot of crypto holdings. Saylor himself is a Bitcoin maximalist, meaning that he bets a lot on crypto. Billions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency is what the business actually owns since the past few years, and Saylor recently stepped down as the CEO to focus more on MicroStrategy's Bitcoin plans for the future. Now, MicroStrategy said that this is not an incident involving the company in any way, shape, or form. It's a personal tax matter involving Mr. Saylor, so traders out there should not panic at all. The District of Columbia's claims against the company are false, is what MicroStrategy said in their latest release. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this little insight. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below if you enjoyed it. And lastly, I'm not a financial advisor, and you should do your own due diligence before investing into anything in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, or NFT, or any stock market world. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.